for joining me at 8:30 this lovely, lovely night. We are going to be chatting with one of my good friends, my dear friend, Amanda Porta. In case you don't know me, hi Amanda. Okay, let me try to bring her on camera here. Hold on. Let's see, there she is. Let's try. Oh, okay, how funny. Okay, now you can probably hear me. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Hi, everybody. I'm going to try to bring Amanda here. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I'm supposed to be on the side here. Let's see. Oh, it says I can't rotate my phone while I'm recording. So maybe we're going to end up like this. Bummer. Let's see. Hi, everybody. Thanks. Hey, hey. How's your trip going?
How are you there?
Hello.
Yay!
Okay, well, I was hoping we would be side by side, but
I guess not.
I even forgot to put in my headset. It's been a long mom day, so...
I know, I heard that. I can hear you better. Can you hear me?
Okay, good. Okay. Yes, now everyone. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining. Okay, so I'll just do a little introduction in case you don't know me. My name is Darby Trove, and I'm the founder of Lemonade Group. It's a nonprofit for breast implant illness and other implants, and of the group Breast Implant Illness Healing and Detox. And Amanda Porta is a founding member and also such a huge contributor. And we're so excited to be chatting again here on Facebook Live. And this time I feel like it was so much smoother.
I know, I'm getting technologically savvy now. You can't stop me. Woo!
I feel like every time I put a live on, there's always 5 minutes of so I'll just get right down to it then, I guess. Okay, so there's so much we're going to talk about, but what this particular live really is about is just how's your heal? How are you healing from breast implant illness? In the group, I'm sure you would agree that that's what everybody wants to know. What am I going to look like? What's it like? How am I going to feel? Is it going to be okay?
Yeah.
And the truth is that everybody is so different, but you know, we're going to kind of just chat about, I'm at 2.5 years. Amanda's at 6 months.
6 months? Yeah, actually in a couple of days.
So what we're going to do is just kind of, we both have totally different backgrounds, different lifestyles, and that is going to, you know, that's going to be a huge part of your heal, and also your genetic makeup and what kind of food you eat. You know, do you sleep? I don't sleep much because I have small
Either do
children.
I. Yeah.
So it's going to make a huge difference. Hi, everybody. If you have a question, please go ahead and write it. And really quick, before we get started, I do want to say, please let us know where you're watching from, what area you're in. Tell us if you're watching the live or if you're watching a repeat or a replay. And then at the end, I actually have some goodies to give away so we'll talk a little bit about that at the end too. So anyway, so let's just, Amanda, let's hear a little bit about your background, what you do, where you live, all of that stuff. And just so we have an idea, you're at 6 months.
Correct. Yeah, and don't you wish that we had something like this when we were going through it? And that's why we're doing it. We have to remind everybody that we didn't have this. We didn't have the luxury of really getting to talk to people and find out, what are we going to go through? How is this going to
doctors were just telling us we were crazy.
Yeah, and for me, as soon as I figured out what it was, I had my surgery within 3 weeks. So I was able to get on Nicole's site, and I was very happy to be able to start reading women's posts, and goosebumps. I mean, I still get them when I realized that I thought I was all alone, and to find out that hundreds of thousands of women are going through this. It's still something that I'm in shock. I'm still in shock. I
think everybody is. It's sad. You know, our group is growing so much. We're almost at 3,500 members in a super short time. And I'm so happy. It's like bittersweet. I'm so happy so many people found us. And then I'm so sad that there's that many people that are struggling that needed to find us.
Horrifying, really.
Drains or no drains of a consult. I think that it's all personal. I had drains.
I had drains. Yeah, I actually had drains for 2 weeks. One needed a drain for 2 weeks.
3 days. 3 days.
Everybody's different,
See,
but you
everybody's
have to.
different, yeah.
Yeah, I worked in plastic surgery for 16 years, so I know that you can get a
Right.
seroma if you don't have drains. So that's up to your doctor to tell you. And if your doctor says that you
And
need
explain
them,
what
you
does
need
that
them.
mean? What
A
does that mean?
seroma, well, it's where blood accumulates, and so you'd have to drain it, and it can cause issues. So you have to, if you're a surgeon saying have drains, you have to have drains. Bottom
Have
line.
drains,
And
yeah,
you
for
want
sure.
that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so I live in Los Angeles, and it's very hot here today, as I know it's hot in your neck of the woods too.
And it's storming. We have a lightning. If you see my face light up, it's because there's lightning.
Love it.
Crazy. Yeah.
So yeah, we do have different backgrounds. I did work in plastic surgery for about 16 years.
Right, and I was a holistic. I was like in the fitness industry.
Totally.
I've been a Pilates instructor for 15 years and a health coach and a life coach. So it's like totally different spectrums.
Totally different.
Totally different lifestyles.
Yes.
Right.
But I feel like I've learned so much, not only about the human body, but about nutrition and wellness through this whole experience with BII.
Me too. And that is one thing that's a blessing, I think, is everyone's lifestyle. There, at least you're coming to a point where you're going, I need to pay more attention.
Sure.
And that is even, I had to kick it up even further. I was in shock. So everybody is making, some strides here.
100%. I was sick for 7 years, and so I tried everything. I stopped. No stone was left unturned. I saw every kind of practitioner there was to have. They were all wonderful. They all had, I'm sure, my best interests at heart. But because nobody knew what it was, obviously, none of the different treatments and so forth I was trying to have helped. But
because you had the root cause still in your body.
Correct.
And so,
and I spent so much money. I mean, that's another reason when we first met, Darby, that we talked about it. And I said, I just want to save women money and time, because for me, I wish I had known all of this. If I had found out, I would have had them out immediately. And I would already be well on my way, to a healthy 100% me, which I'm not there yet.
Same thing.
But
as soon as I found out that this was a thing, I went, okay, that's it. I need these out. But I had to, I needed that proof that, so many women are still dealing with, and I, I don't blame you, because I was the same way. I wanted to know, I wanted the proof. But let me just say this. There are a couple of things we were talking earlier about the detox thing. I just want to put my little 2 cents in on this, is that, after talking to the thousands of women that we have in our group and, personally talking to so many people and going through the experience myself, I have to say that, the women that are saying they have to totally not detox anything until they explant, I have to say that's like, don't start to get better before you start to get better.
Yeah,
it just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
If you're talking about going in an infrared sauna, that's different.
Sure.
You're going to bake those in your chest first. But if you're, supporting your liver, if you're starting to remove metals and toxins, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You're going to heal quicker.
Right.
And I think that's why I healed so fast in the beginning. I felt so good because I had just 8 weeks before, I was itching in my own skin, like, get this crap out of me.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait for my explant, so I had to do everything I could to start feeling better since I knew what it was. And not everybody's doing that, and I just want to say, flooding your body with organic superfoods, drinking lots of water, getting lots of good sleep, doing the things to remove metals, and, doing anything you can to just eat organic food. There's nothing wrong with that.
100%.
That is what you want to do.
100%. Yeah. Oh, look at the lightning.
Really
I see that.
Yeah, I know.
Very cool. Yeah, no, I mean, and again, I've had to really learn that the hard way. I grew up in an Italian family. Ooh, listen to that.
I know.
Where we had 7-course Italian meals every night. I was always really thin, never gained weight, so I never have had to watch what I ate. And, that's not something to brag about. You actually can... for me, learn some pretty bad eating habits. So I've had to turn that all around. And, not every day is easy. I'm trying my best. I'm actually trying to do the bone broth protocol now.
Awesome. How do you like that?
Well,
that
I
made
love
a huge
it.
difference for me.
I do.
Hi,
I love
everybody.
it.
So many people jumping on. Thank you so much. Yes, there's a cat. I saw that yesterday. There's a lot. I have a zoo at my house.
Nice. No, I mean, I love bone broth. I think that it's just, very comforting. It's a comfort food. And 3 times a day to have a wonderful bowl. Even I do it now during the summer. And I have a girlfriend of mine who's been great. She's had her own health challenges, and she's been really steadfast in this for a year. And so she's encouraging me, even on those
That's
hard
awesome.
days. But I noticed now, which I didn't when I had the implants in, and I was going through all of the autoimmune issues. You know, I would say, oh gosh, I don't feel like I'm allergic to anything. But
Oh
now
my
that I've
goodness.
cleaned my system out and I've gotten rid of
You can see the
everything,
difference.
yes, if I eat something or have some sugar, or, oh, I feel so sick. So your body really does tell you what it likes.
You know, that's interesting that you said that, because I started to have something similar with something I didn't think. I'm trying to remember what it was now, because I stopped eating it, but it was something similar. I wasn't eating anything, and then once I did, I felt such a difference. I went, wow, I had no clue that that was really bothering me. Can you guys hear me okay with all the thunder and lightning back here?
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Another thing that we were going to mention, and this was very interesting, and I've thought about it a lot since you brought it up the other day. You wanted me to mention what kind of implants I had.
Yes.
Because we're starting to see that perhaps there is commonalities or pattern with women, and the implants maybe causing.
The type of implant has specific symptoms. Yes, some of them do.
Yeah, and so I had McGann round silicone. And I had them, I just found out too. I got them in 2004. Now, I went to a doctor up in Washington who at the time was one of the best surgeons. And so he was part of a lot of case studies. And I have a feeling that he got the ability to put silicone back in women as long as we had saline once. I think I got them on the earlier end, because I don't think people were really getting the silicone again until 2006. So yeah, I had them right from the beginning that they were available again, which makes me even
really
more
quick,
nervous.
Amanda, we have to answer some of these questions really quick. Okay, so yes, someone said they wish they detoxed more pre-explant. I agree. Your body does tell you, yes, what you're allergic to, as long as you're not on meds. I agree with that too. Do you recommend a certain food sensitivity? Yes, there's a couple. I love Dr. Dana's. I can send you that information if you like. She has a kit that she sends nationally that I love. Hello, everybody. And okay, great. So I think there's a couple more that I think I missed. Sorry, guys. I will try to catch up. If I don't answer your question, if we don't answer your question, you can always message us at the end, and then we can write you back. Sorry so much. Trying to catch up with everybody today. Thank you so much. Okay, so yes. Okay, so I had Mentor, high profile. I had Mentor Smooth, high profile. And, you know, I have to say, as far as symptoms go, I think I felt symptoms right away. But, you know, I kind of attributed it to just healing my body. But it was like I was so exhausted, and then that kind of never changed. So it's like before I had all this energy, and then I felt exhausted from the surgery, and then that exhaustion never just like went away. It always kind of just lingered. And then I just felt like I was all over the place after that. You know, it was like all kinds of crazy symptoms. My hair started to thin, and I was wearing. I didn't notice right away, because I had a hairdresser cut off all my hair for fun. Like, she was supposed to style it, and she just cut it. And so I wore extensions. Long story short, I had something that I was doing, a media thing I was doing, where I had to have long hair. So then I got hooked on them. So I always had extensions, so I never noticed until one time I got them out and I was like, oh my gosh, I thought it was the extensions. I thought I was going like bald, and then, you know, not really bald, but you know what I mean? Like, your hair is so much thinner. All right, so somebody else's in 1999. Can you see any of these questions?
No, not really.
All right, we'll come back and answer some of those at the end. But
so I'm getting a lot of feedback, and I really want to. I'm straining to hear you, but I wonder if everybody else can hear you, because I can't hear you well.
Can you guys hear me at all now? I'm going to try to just hold it up to my face here. It's like it's a pretty crazy storm out there. I felt.
Do you?
Can you hear me?
Do you guys do Botox? That's the question I see.
Okay, do you believe in Botox? Okay, so I have to say that I personally stopped doing Botox, but I use fillers. I don't mind, you know, because I use the ones that are the hyaluronic acid. But other than that, I stopped using Botox. I was getting really weird side effects, and it was right at the height of. I actually posted a picture of myself. It was just a terrible picture on Instagram right before I had my implants out.
And the pic.
Sorry. Whoa, dude. That's crazy.
All my kids and my animals will all be in my lap in a second.
Okay, that's so
Anyway,
much better though for me. Thank you. I
Okay,
couldn't
good.
hear for a second.
So I posted a picture of myself right before I removed my implants, and I had gotten Botox like for the first time in so many years, and I looked like a mugshot. Like even I had gotten to a point where the BII was so intense that I literally had just gotten my whole face done, and I still looked sunken in and tired, and there was like nothing I could do to make it look better. And the girl was like, "Let me do a before and after," and the after, she was like,
Right.
okay, like
Yeah.
I'm not going to use this. And so I actually used it as my picture before, and I didn't even tell anybody that it was like I had just gotten my face done. Like you're supposed to look all
Right.
fresh.
Yeah.
I looked so terrible. And then I just never did Botox again after that anyway, because after the implants and everything, I was so scared of, all that toxicity in my body.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I'm all about being honest, girl. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. No, I mean, all of our hair fell out from what I can tell and what I do speak to with people. But I will say that for everyone, what's lingering, because I do feel good for the most part. I really do. I don't sleep well. I was sleeping really great after explant. I felt awesome for the first few months. I was sleeping through the night. Now I'm waking up at 4 in the morning and just laying there. So that's your adrenals, and I am taking steps to go to a specialist because I feel like, for me, I've had a lot of neurological issues. I lost all the feeling in my legs for a time, which a lot
I have
of
that
the
in my
women,
toes.
Yeah,
My
it
toes.
happens in their arms and so forth. And in fact, I posted my pictures before when I did thermography right before surgery. You can see that I had no circulation in my legs.
I remember it was purple, right?
It was purple, yeah. And so that being said, that's for me an area that I'm struggling with a little bit, but I am going to start doing neurotherapy, and I would love to give an update on how that
keep
is
us
going.
posted on that.
Yeah, I don't start until September 5th, but that's supposed to really relax the brain, and so it can heal on its own. So yeah, and we both did the hair test too, Darby, and they said we really inside were physically, I know I was pretty good. It was just all, the anxiety in my head.
For me, it was fight or flight, a lot of
Yes,
fight or
me
flight
too.
stuff, and I was liver toxicity. But I have 2 small children, and I'm like that helicopter mom. So I think that definitely contributes to it. Like
Sure.
I'm on that whoo, whoo, whoo mode. So and we live in crazy Florida. So and life contributes to a lot of stuff too.
100%.
I mean, and you were talking about it, and I started researching it, and that platinum is one of the only metals that the implant companies actually admit to having in implants, and that's the one that messes with the neurological system the most.
Yeah.
So it really explains a lot when it comes to breast implant illness, brain fog, and the tingling.
100%. And that's all the things that I'm dealing with pretty much left.
Yeah. Well, I thought, oh my gosh, am I going diabetic or something? Because I was having issues with my toes and fingers. And I started taking my blood sugar because, I live a pretty crazy clean lifestyle. Every now and then I'll have some dark chocolate at night, but it's not like I'm, drinking kamikazes and, eating ho-hos.
Yeah.
But my blood sugar was fine, and it was pretty alarming. I couldn't get to the bottom of it. And then once you brought that up to me and I started researching that too, it was like, wow, this is what it is. So, I've been doing the Detoxing. You and I both are trying that.
And I can't wait to see how the studies are after that, because we've both been on it for now a month and a half, getting rid of the heavy metals in our body.
Yeah, and they actually partnered with our Lemonade group, and a couple other products they partnered, and what they do is they give us a code so we can share it with the breast implant illness community, so you guys get a discount. So it's cool because they're helping out, and it's a beautiful thing. The more people that understand. So okay, overall, let's talk about like how we feel, how we look. Okay,
How we
now it's
feel,
gonna
how
get
we
real.
look.
Now it's gonna get real honest up in here. You were talking about Botox. This is a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to be honest about something. So I've had a lot of girlfriends, a lot of friends, a lot of women come to me who I am really honored that they trust me enough to help them on their journey and help make their decisions. And, you know, this has just banded women together so much. I have to say it's really awesome.
Yes.
That makes me
I
so
love that
happy.
too.
It really does.
And you know, our group, the Breast Implant Illness, Detox, and Healing, that's like, it's, I feel like it's a lot of love in that group. And, you
Yeah.
know, not to take away from anywhere else, but because I'm not active in any of the other groups at all. And I think they're all wonderful.
Yeah.
But I really find that there's such a nice vibe. And I love that everyone's really supporting each other. And, you know, we do a lot of praying and good vibes for anybody who's healing. And it's like, that's what I needed. So I really wanted a place that's like, give me what I needed.
I know.
Because
we both
you
discussed that
just need
because we didn't have it. We had nobody. I literally felt like, why is this happening to me? I must just be the unluckiest person in the world. And you know what? Now, and only because now I can look back. I don't expect everyone to feel like this now. I truly feel like this was one of the most remarkable things that happened to me. Because if I can help all of these other people, then you know what? This has all been worth it.
I'm
really
with
has.
you. I agree.
And I mean
like
that
some of those hard
wholeheartedly.
moments. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, sometimes the hardest things in life are like the best things. You can't see it at the time. I couldn't see it, you know, that God had a bigger plan for me in all of this.
Amen, sister. I agree with you. I do. Okay, so someone asked us a question really quick.
Oh.
Okay, so what's your input on why some women get sick and some don't? Well, okay, so I'll give you my opinion on that.
I want to hear it.
Is that you know, there's a couple factors. I think one of the biggest ones is, you know, the MTHFR gene that people talk about. It's a gene mutation, or some schools of thought think it's an imbalance in the body, a lack of riboflavin, which is comes from beef liver. But either way, what happens is the body doesn't detox properly. My personal opinion, this is totally my opinion. I'm not your doctor, y'all, and I don't claim to be a professional, okay? But this is my opinion, and from what I've seen is that, that gene mutation makes it so we can't detox the body properly. And so you've got that issue going on. And if it's ruptured, that's a different situation. Right. A lot of women complain about issues right after they get in a car accident or some kind of pressure, or for me, it was breastfeeding. But I think that, at some point we all get some type of side effect, but maybe we blame it on old age.
Yeah.
Maybe we blame it on this or that, because it's like that frog in boiling water. It's just like you're slowly turning up the heat. So it's not, unless you're lucky enough to get those symptoms that set on all at once,
right,
then you have no clue. Your body's just slowly deteriorating and breaking down and like melting. I have a girlfriend who, she's had probably a ton of surgeries. Her organs are like all having issues.
Right.
And it's all started since she had her implants.
Mine too. Yeah, mine all slowed down. And I already had felt that, but that has, I have found out from other practitioners that is the case.
Right. Wow.
So my feeling is we don't know long term yet, because remember, these silicone implants that were supposedly were made to be so saline, but the silicone was their big deal back in the early 2000s. They were supposed to be so much better. They even said, there were some doctors that said, let's see in 10 years how it really, and this is a little over 10 years, and we're starting to see that no, these are the same symptoms women had back in the Dow Corning days, when those big lawsuits happened. I didn't know that, though, because I was too young. That wouldn't have even been something that I would have had knowledge on at the time.
Exactly. And so, there it is. It's like,
so it's back again, basically. And doctors have said that. Yeah, doctors have said that to me, like, oh no, it's happening again. And I said, what do you mean happening again? I didn't know that these were the symptoms. I thought women were just getting a lot of ruptures back then. And I actually have to say, I didn't even know what it was leading to.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. I just knew it was an issue.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I go back to stress, because autoimmune stress is what will bring autoimmune, even if you don't have implants on in your body. I did have some stress in my life when I think that in 2012 it came on all of a sudden. And so for women, pregnancy can be that stress factor, a divorce,
That's right,
what have
Maria.
you. I think at some period, we all go through stress, obviously, in lives, but
Yeah.
are some women not going to ever get any, or did they have symptoms, but they're just maybe more minor? Is it our immune systems? I think I had a very strong immune system, and
Yeah,
that's
that's
why it
when I
took
got
so
mine tested,
long.
same thing. She said, you
Yeah.
have a really strong immune system,
Yeah.
and I think it's a blessing and a curse in this situation.
I think you're 100% right. And because I could tell my immune system obviously wasn't functioning well, I got Epstein-Barr, which is mono, during all of
Right.
this. So on
And
top of
that's
not
something
sleeping well, I had that
That's
too.
something I've been getting a lot of messages about. So we're going to talk about that soon, actually. I have a lot of good information on Epstein-Barr, and I keep getting messages about it. So I know we want to talk about it. So
Yeah.
you and I will have to talk about this again.
Okay. Yeah, I wish that we could all see a snapshot of the inside of our body, but I do know, and I've said this before, when I would go to some of these acupuncturists, some of the best in Los Angeles, they wouldn't even speak English, but they would say to me, they would have it translated, "You look so good and young on the outside, but inside you're very, very old." And I
I
would
know.
say, "What
You
are you
told me that, and I
talking
was like,
about?"
ah.
But it makes sense now because all of my systems in my body were slowing down, and it makes me sad. And I don't know if that can come back. I don't know if the damage
I
is
believe it.
permanent. I hope it can
I
come back.
believe it. I believe it can. Our
Yeah.
bodies are so strong if they can deal with all this toxic chemical food. That reminded me. I had an acupuncture lady. My whole journey started because I was having infertility issues. I breastfed my daughter, and then that's when all my BII symptoms started. And then after that, I couldn't get pregnant afterwards. I went to every specialist, and they said, you're just not ovulating. We have no reason for it. You have tons of eggs, this and that. Everything else looks beautiful. Your husband is great. You just stopped, shut down.
Yeah.
And so, that was scary for me. Anyway,
That's my air conditioning, but I'm sorry it's so hot. I have to have it. So that's where I draw the line. You got to have the air conditioning.
I can't be sweating. Anyway, what were we talking about just now?
Oh, you were talking about your infertility issues. And so for you, that was a big deal.
So the acupuncture lady told me that my organs were cold. She said my organs were cold, and I thought that was so weird, but it was like same thing, slow down. Anyway, really quick, Karen, a lot of practitioners now, your general practitioner will do an MTHFR blood test now. So there's that too. And anyway, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Karen. I saw your message, and thank you. Yes, we can all regenerate. I was going to think positively. Yay.
Yes, and you can. And, it's just, okay, so you're 6 months in, I'm 2.5 years in.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have to say is that, it's not very fair because I haven't been solely detoxing for 2.5 years.
Right.
I got pregnant 4 weeks after removing my implants, after trying for 2.5 years.
That's right.
Without even trying, I got pregnant.
Yeah.
We were surprised. We're like, did we even do something to make this happen? Like what, you had a new baby at home. So it was pretty crazy that happened. I mean, and anyone who kind of doubted it was like, well, maybe it was your implants after all.
Yeah.
And so I didn't get the chance to do all the detoxing. So now after I was done breastfeeding, I started over, and I have to say, is a lot of women say, well, your body will detox naturally. And as long as you're a healthy body, it will. Yes. But if you have breast implant illness and MTHFR and all of these issues, your body's not going to remove everything by itself because it had all of this outside environmental toxins inside the body. It doesn't work properly. So you have to just give it a lot of love. You have to give it a lot of extra kicks in the pants in order to start doing it itself. It's like having, a motor that needs jump started. Yeah. So you just need to eat all those good organic foods. I eat a lot of green shakes, I love bone broth myself, and make sure, this is one thing I do want to just say a little side note, because I've been talking to a lot of women about it, is that whatever's going on with the implants, I don't know if it's a combination of all the glyphosate and the implants, whatever it is, digesting protein is become a huge issue for women, and you're not, or you'll have tests done and they'll say you're not absorbing your nutrients. Right. Those two issues, glyphosate, the number one thing, glyphosate is Roundup. What it does is it makes it so that your body can't utilize your own enzymes, which break down your food, which help you absorb them. And also it makes it so that you can't utilize protein. Okay.
Right.
So there's that. And then also with all of the autoimmune issues going on, you get this leaky gut issue, which also makes it so it's hard to digest protein.
Yes.
So if you notice that your hair is thinning and your nails are thinning and your skin looks
Probably
terrible,
not digesting protein.
right, you're probably not digesting
And I know
protein.
I wasn't. And I saw another woman write, and I don't want to forget to say something about this, estrogen dominance causes fertility issues. Yes, we know
Yes,
that.
for sure.
And I have found, and correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of women with breast implants have estrogen dominance. I do myself.
Yes.
I'm still working on getting rid of it. And so that's a big thing. That's why I think, because it's so interesting, I would say this when I first found Nicole's site and these sites. I would say, gosh, why is it that every woman looks so much better after the implants come out? And this is a good segue to what we're going to talk about next. It's like they have, in some cases, more tissue than they did. I know that was the same for me anyway, more tissue than they started with. And it could be, I think, estrogen dominance. I mean, yes, as you get older, of course, we're going to have a little bit more tissue. But I also think that that plays a part.
And it holds a lot more water. That estrogen makes everything grow, right? It makes that's where you get cancers from. That makes everything grow. And progesterone is a really wonderful balancer. And DIM, you can make sure to take the. If you want to find out, a baseline, and believe me, it's not medical. This is just anecdotal for fun. But lemonadegroup.org has a survey that you can find out what your dominant toxicity for breast implant illness is, and you'll get an email back with information, and you can opt in for suggestions if you want. And yes, Yolanda, I have a green shake that I love, and you can message me and I'll send you all the info about it if you want. But it's you love that green one too, right?
I love
Power
it. It
shake,
tastes really good. I'm not
shake.
drinking it anymore because I'm doing my bone broth in the morning, but I like it.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to give a little secret, and I'll just say it now. So I was saying earlier, a lot of my girlfriends will ask me about everything. And by the way, so happy with the way I look. This is me. I never wanted breast implants to begin with. I had an issue which made it a good medical device for me, for something I was dealing with, a corrective surgery. But I never wanted them, never felt comfortable with them. Didn't like them for myself. So much happier now. I feel so much lighter. I can breathe. I am very athletic, so I love working out. So not having that extra weight is awesome. But I was one of the ones who, when those implants had been in you for as long as they were in me, for 15 years, on one side, it did leave a depression when they came out. And I don't really tell my girlfriends that because I don't want it to stop them from doing what they have to do. And then after they get them out, I say, well, by the way. So I actually have to go in for fat transfer next month. And believe me, if I didn't really feel like I had to do it, I wouldn't, because I just keep saying, like, when is it just over? When's enough enough? I don't want to deal with this anymore. But it is something that needs to be fixed. And I'm going back to Dr. Kevin Brenner again, who did my explant, who was just amazing. And if you ladies want, I will document it. I was going to do it for KTLA anyway. So if there are people who want to see what that's like,
you should share it to the group.
I'm totally happy to do that. I mean,
I love it.
At this point, like, all humility is out the window. I've been through so much. It doesn't matter anymore.
That's how I felt after having 2 children.
Yes.
But yeah, totally. There's another cat. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm with you. And you know what? It's totally for a better cause.
Yeah.
I feel like, people are always asking, what am I going to look like after? And I say, PM me and I'll send you a picture. I have no problem. I'm just not going to post it on the group. But if you want to know what it looked like, because I went from a 34 double D after having babies, like while I was breastfeeding, I went up to a G, by the way.
Oh wow.
What?
Yeah.
And then afterwards, now I'm back down to a 34B, and you can imagine how much extra tissue. You know what I'm saying? So I elected for a lift. I'm a short person. I'm 5'2".
Yeah.
Okay. So I elected for a lift. Not everybody does. And, I don't know if you caught my interview with Dr. Khan, but he talks about lifts. And, some people he thinks don't need them. And, it's a very interesting. I did not explant with him. I explanted with Dr. Barnett, who I absolutely adore.
Yeah.
But, I thought Dr. Khan had some really good information, and I'll post that up too. But, like you, if sometimes you have to go back in for another surgery. For me, how do I look? I have one side that was not perfect, and it was because I had a lot more scar tissue, and it was on the left side, and for whatever reason, that seems to be the side.
I know. Why is that?
Right?
It's so funny. I think it's because it's above the heart, but
Yes,
mean,
it
that's
has
just
to
my
be.
own weird little.
Maybe the body just goes extra crazy, because that's where I mean, a survey says it seems like that side, the left side, has so much more scar tissue for so many more people, or they're having issues. So it did even out. It was like that, and then I breastfed my son, and I was like, now what is it gonna look like? But you know, I had a lift, and it still looks just fine.
Oh, good.
You know,
Yeah.
would I do a fat transfer? Maybe someday, but you know, I don't know.
want to.
I don't really want to ever go under the knife again.
No, I really don't want to.
Yeah.
But I will say, but the other one is awesome. He did such a nice job. You'd never have no one would be the wiser that anything even took place. You wouldn't even think that I had the implants before. It's
Wow,
nice.
that's awesome.
Which is pretty amazing. But I do want to say one other thing, but my brain fog I may have forgotten what I was
Well, we were talking about how do you look, how do you feel, and
I don't know.
okay, well, as soon as I start
If it
talking,
comes
you'll
back to
remember,
me, I'll
because that's
say
what
it.
happens to me.
All the time.
Okay,
All
so
the time.
how do I feel? I'm 2.5 years in, okay, and I have so much energy. I basically have to like naturally drug myself to sleep every night. And I was so tired at the end of my implants. At 3 p.m., it was like someone put a warm, in a hot room, warm gray wet blanket on my head, and it was like I just would shut down. And it was like I was so tired. It was like I had a sip of poison, and it would just like shut me down.
Right.
I felt so tired.
Right.
My metals were through the roof. My metals were really, really bad. I have one copy of MTHFR, of a variant, and some people have two, some people have more. And I didn't know about MTHFR. I didn't know about a lot of stuff. Oh, you're going to get hot again. Your AC went off.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm outside.
Really quiet.
I'm just cooling down the house for when I go back in.
I know. I'm outside too. It is so hot. Anyway, so the point is that as soon as I got them out and I started detoxing, I did some heavy metal protocols prior to removing my implants. And if you PM me, I'm happy to share them with you. Someone asked about the survey. I will double check. Maybe I missed yours. So if we missed it, I will double check it. But so I did that, and then I just did tons and tons of greens. I did that power smoothie. I did lots of B vitamins. There's one that I love that's a methylated B. If you have the MTHFR, make sure you're using a methylated B in a complex. And that is amazing, because otherwise your body does not utilize synthetic B vitamins. It actually turns like corrosive in the body.
Right.
So you want to avoid synthetic Bs, which, I think the best way I tell people is if you take B vitamins and you're like, oh, I burp them up, it's disgusting afterwards, you're probably taking a synthetic, and there's a possibility of MTHFR because your body is rejecting them. And I have to tell you, when I take a methylated liquid B over, one that's, just one of those spray synthetic ones, it's a totally different experience. It's like, I've never had it. And I'm taking beef liver pills, and if you're going to get some, do New Zealand grass-fed, and they're amazing. And that has been huge for balancing my riboflavin. And once I added that plus all my greens, it was so amazing for me. And I was having serious liver issues. Like that was my huge issue. And you too, right? You were having liver. Was that liver for you?
Yeah, and I also, yes, I think it was from detoxing from the implants, yes, but then I was taking a ton of supplements because, we become obsessed with detoxing. So I just completely cut back on the supplements, and I was trying to
and you're
take
doing
some
a
liquid
detox.
ones, now. And I don't really
good.
take as many because I just really believe that the human body, for the most part, is going to heal on its own. Although, if I could just fix, the fight or flight stuff, my body would heal even faster. There's a lot to be said for that. I think that.
So there's
really
two schools of
impedes,
thought here, as you can tell. There's two schools of thought here.
That impedes your body's healing when your mind is not relaxed. And
but do you have the MTHFR gene?
You know that I've not found out yet, and purposely so, and I will soon because it's important.
I'm curious.
I'm curious, and I mean probably, but I just kind of feel like I get really stressed out about wanting to figure everything out. That's my controlling side. I think if I gave myself one more thing to worry about, or I just am not ready. That's the bottom line.
I get it. And
it's
you
just
know,
like
and
one
that's,
more thing, and I've had a lot to kind of deal with.
and you know what? That's something too. It's like you have to start where you can. And, you know, I started a lot longer ago than you, so we're not at the same place.
Right.
And I think that makes a huge difference because when you talk to somebody
Yes.
who's just about to explant, you're still dealing with this, or someone who just did, and there's such a difference. And there's women that have explanted further down than I have. I was reading one of our lovely viewers explanted 4 years ago, and it's such a difference. But you know, depending on how long you have it in your body, and it's true, there's a lot of mental stuff that goes on, and I think a lot of women can resonate with that. It's like, you know, there's almost a post-traumatic stress that happens.
100%. They've actually told me that I have PTSD from it, which I'm not surprised. I mean, that was really, really an awful thing. Hey, I just want to answer a couple questions, though, that I saw come through. Yes, adaptogens for fight or flight. Thank you. I do take those, and I think that they're awesome. It's just that when you get to a certain point, yes, that will help. But if one person told me go meditate, I was going to strangle them because, I mean, I'm kind of beyond that, but it's all good. I think everyone should meditate. I think we should all take adaptogens in this world that we're living in right now, right? It's just so high stress and crazy that it affects us so much. Another one that I saw was, what heavy metal tests do you like? And we both decided that we really like Reset because it was such a comprehensive report. The Reset Yourself.
No, resetyourself.com. That one's a good one. And they're part of the breast implant illness community.
So you get a little discount.
Yeah, so if you, I think it's Lemonade, AID, and you can get the discount and the, you know, for the breast implant illness, or BII Detox, either one. And did you want to answer any more questions? Is there any more that I missed?
There was one more that I wanted to address.
How many symptoms come back?
Yes, and so, you know, I do feel like we're still susceptible because the digestion's not healed to the autoimmune stuff. Like I notice if I eat certain things, I still kind of get swelling. Like I'll still kind of have some swelling that a lot of people do. I don't feel like a lot of the symptoms are back. My eyesight is a lot better. That feeling in the ears where you feel like you always have to clear them that I always had is better. But yeah, because, you know, the head is so many things. That is probably all of my symptoms have to do with that.
I think for me, you know, my symptoms have not come back. Not yet. Not at this point. I get better and better. I haven't had any come back. At the beginning, it took longer for them to peel off, and I was definitely like surprised by that. I think that they come back. No, I think that they've been following me and they're slowly decreasing. So I haven't had anything come back. I've had metals that are slowly decreasing, but I've had to detox them, you know, and you know, and back to what we were talking about earlier is that, you know, everybody is going to start at a different point, and depending on your lifestyle and what you have going on, you know, how